so just like there's a tax man, we also have a needle man. And the gym rats are dropping way too much love right now. They're going crazy right now, bro. We're gonna try to understand what's happening here. You don't have to like the video. You don't have to subscribe unless you want to, of course. But check this out. Roll it.
Earlier this month, The Rock attended the Venice Film Festival for his new film, The Smashing Machine.
Yeah.
Unlike his previous work, this isn't a superhero movie or a big budget blockbuster. It's a character piece about Mark Kerr, the MMA fighter who shot to the top in the late 90s before drugs and...
I'm hearing good things about the movie, you know? That's good for Rock, man. That's good for him. If you have seen it, yeah, drop your reviews below, but wait for it.
Personal struggles brought everything crashing down. The film is directed by Benny Safdie and stars Emily Blunt as Kerr's wife, Dawn. To play the part, Dwayne went all in. He bulked up to match Kerr's imposing frame and wore facial prosthetics over his nose, brow, cheeks, and jaw. For the first time, he wasn't selling himself as The Rock. He was disappearing into someone else. When the film premiered in Venice, the reaction spoke volumes. The audience gave The Rock a standing ovation that went on for over 15 minutes.
What?
And he was
15?
visibly emotional, fighting back tears.
15 minutes? That's way too much though, but... Is that Brie Larson?
Reviews called his performance
else.
vulnerable and career-defining, comparing it to films like The Wrestler and Raging Bull. This was something The Rock had never experienced before. He wasn't just being talked about as a movie star, but as an actor. And at the press conference, he had...
Nah, that's honestly really good for him, man. You know, like, that's actually good. But, yeah, man, soon enough, we're gonna be getting down to this. Man, we got Uncle Greg out here. Greg Douchette. Is that how you say? Hopefully I'm not butchering your name, man. Love Uncle Greg out here, but let's continue.
admitted this was something he'd wanted to do for a long time.
I had been very fortunate to have the career that I've had over the years and make the films that I've made. There was just voice inside of me, the little voice that, well, what if I could do more, and I want to do more, and what does that look like?
What's interesting is the kind of role he chose. Mark Kerr's story is defined by the very things The Rock has always avoided on screen: defeat, weakness, and vulnerability. Kerr was a champion, yes, but he was also an addict, a man who broke down publicly, who lost fights, and lost control of his life.
You know, we've done like part 1 of The Rock saga. I'll definitely link you later on, but in that we learned that The Rock had a contract where it said that he can never lose a fight on the big screen. Oh shit! That is just crazy, right? So basically the video was talking about the contract that he had, allegedly, okay? And the ego that took over him, and his ego was just way too big for that, so he never wanted that. Versus someone like John Cena, right? John Cena's like, yeah, bro, like if the character demands it, I'll do it, okay? If the story, if it makes sense for the story, if it's good for the character, showing vulnerability would be the main thing, and yeah, who cares? I'll lose the fight, right? This, that, the other. Versus The Rock, where he had this, that, the other. Plus, there's a Fast and Furious. Yeah, I want to talk about Fast and Furious in a second too.
For an actor who literally had it written in his contracts that he could never lose a fight, stepping into the skin of a man like Kerr is almost as far from the Rock formula as you can get. Dwayne said he's had an itch to do this for years, but why only now? Because
that's good, man. He's learning and growing. That's amazing.
Most of his career, he's pretty much just played himself. Whether you saw him in Fast and Furious, Jumanji, San Andreas, Skyscraper, or Jungle Cruise, his movies always felt like you were just watching The Rock, the ripped action hero who cracks jokes, saves the day, and almost never loses. That became his trademark, not just—
And honestly, though, bro, like, I enjoyed the movies, bro. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and hate on Uncle Doug here. I actually enjoyed that stuff, bro. It's just that when you get down to the territory of like ticking, which the video is gonna get into, the gym rats going in, dropping love and all that. You know what I'm saying? Pause real quick. Listen, man, all I'm gonna say here is that there's no Johnson on planet Earth that can stay that hard for that long. Full stop.
The size, but the invincibility. His movies were a product, and while they poured in massive audiences, nobody respected him as an actor. Still, the formula worked again and again. He became the highest paid actor in Hollywood, its safest box office bet, and built a global brand off that one role. And that's why the downsizing is so shocking. So the question is, what finally forced the reinvention? Well, it may have been due to concerns about his health. Just 3 months ago, The Rock appeared on Dr. Mark Hyman's podcast to speak in depth about his health. In the episode, he revealed a scare he had after learning one of the arteries in his heart may have a blockage.
A little bit before you and I met.
Yeah.
But just as we met.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the valves and I had a complete cardiovascular workup. There was what looked to be some stuff inside the,
like a buildup of
like
what
a
they thought
buildup,
was plaque.
what they thought was plaque in the circumflex valve.
In the artery, yeah.
In the artery, right? And then when we looked at that on the old school traditional MRI and the scans, it looked like I had buildup. And then immediately the call to action was, all right, well, let's get you on this medication. It's a multi-month medication, and here we go. We got to get on it right away.
The Rock was shaken by this news
and also gotta get rid of the ticking as well. Allegedly, right?
Contacted Hyman for a second opinion. He underwent advanced AI scans which determined there was no plaque at all, just a harmless irregularity, not the life-threatening blockage he'd feared. On paper, everything looked fine, but moments like that tend to stick. At 53 years old, staring down the possibility of heart disease likely forced Dwayne to confront his own age and the limits of a body he's pushed to extremes for decades. But here's what stood out. Despite the podcast running 37 minutes and covering almost every aspect.
Oh my god, yeah, man. It's like people going insane on that. And you know, here's the thing. If The Rock came out clean, he wouldn't have been getting this much hate. It's just rice and chicken. I just eat rice and chicken, grow big muscle, never ticking. Allegedly, gotta say allegedly here. So yeah, if he came out clean and claimed, or not claimed, but was honest that, yeah, bro, like I've took the, the roids and all that, I've tick, this, that, the other, to the max, okay? On my ass, on my bicep, pause real quick, just to the max. Yeah, people wouldn't have gave him that much shit. Surely some people would have, but it would have been very much minuscule versus what it is right now. Allegedly, right? Allegedly. Because it's not, bro, you don't get that big just based off of rice and chicken. Trust me, man, I've been consistently going to the gym for 4 months. Bruh. For 4 months. Almost 4 months, okay? Yeah, you don't get that big, okay? Like, man, trust me. Okay, if you don't trust me, trust Uncle Greg, which we're gonna get into in a second. But no Johnson, no Johnny, no Johnson can stay that hard for that long. Pause, full stop. Let's start a new chapter, bro. Come on.
Of his health, gut problems, nutrition, genetic testing, heart scares. There wasn't a single mention of steroids or performance-enhancing drugs.
Yeah, he
Not
never
once.
mentioned.
For someone whose physique has been questioned for so long, that silence said a hell of a lot. It's no coincidence the episode currently sits with more than half the viewers hitting the dislike button. Scroll through the comments and you'll see the same complaints over and over again. How can you spend nearly 40 minutes talking about The Rock's health?
And right now, The Rock is definitely in a iffy spot, right? Like, The Rock, if you're watching, man, man, it's nothing but love, man. It's nothing but love. But listen, man, The Rock he's definitely in an iffy spot. If he now comes out and tries to be transparent, the internet is gonna eat him alive because he kept this a secret for so long. I mean, it's not a secret, but like, he never really admitted to it for this long, that now if he comes out, if he were to come out tomorrow and be like, yeah, guys, I was ticking, okay, I was shooting it up on my ass, this, that, the other, yeah, he's gonna get a lot more hate, man. People are gonna be like, yeah, bro, we do, yeah, this guy, yeah, we do, man, this guy, man, oh my god, bro, so people would be on it. So now I guess he's in that territory. So I guess it's better that he don't even mention it at all. I guess that's where we're at. And good for him, man, for sizing down, actually. Good for health, good for his physique. And also, it does not, doesn't send a wrong influence message out to the kids, to the young adults that think that it's just rice and chicken, bro. You don't grow that big just based off of rice and chicken, 20 eggs a day, or how many eggs he eats per day, right? You don't get that big, man. Yeah, so that's a wrong influence that he has on so many kids out there, so many like teenagers, young adults. I would say for the longest amount of time, like a couple of years ago, I was also thinking, yeah, bro, it's just like good eating and, going to the gym. And then you make big muscles. Not true. Not true.
I never addressed the elephant in the room. Getting rich in 2025 is actually way simpler than most people. The truth is, people aren't stupid. They know that if they'll and never looked back. The truth is, people aren't stupid. They know that if there's a single factor that's posed the biggest risk to The Rock's long-term health, it's the years of PED use, whether he admits it or not.
He'd been using and abusing performance-enhancing drugs for years, and what do you think that does? Well, aside from building a friggin' physique such as this, it also causes a host of negative side effects, one of which it sets you up for a heart attack. Your heart is going to grow bigger, which sounds good, but it's not. Left ventricular hypertrophy is not something that you want. It can increase LDL, lower HDL, and does a host of negative things to your body. Hence, The Rock had to make a change, or he wouldn't be able to change ever again because he'd no longer be with us.
One Instagram user posted...
Honestly, it's good for The Rock, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good for him. It's good for him. Good for his health, and he's probably gonna get different roles and better roles. I wanted to talk about Fast and Furious, right? What about Fast and Furious 11, right? I googled right before making this video. This is what Uncle Google is saying, that they haven't started filming yet, or it's not finished. They haven't finished filming yet, and we know that The Rock is gonna return unless there is gonna be another beef, and you know, another beef between Vin Diesel, and then these boys not gonna be together or whatnot. Yeah, I definitely want to see him back in Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious 10 was dog shit, bro. I even enjoyed, for whatever it was worth. Fast and Furious 9 obviously wasn't the best, but you know, Fast and Furious 9, you know, the movie where they go to space, was much better than the last one they came out with. The last one was dog shit, and I'm a massive fan of the franchise, okay? I loved all the Fast and Furious movies, even when people were like, okay, bro, like, just stop it. You know, even then I enjoyed it. But we're gonna be getting one last ride. It always is a last ride, right, by the looks of it. But we're gonna get one last ride, which is gonna be Fast and Furious 11. And The Rock is gonna be back. I hope he's back. But the question would be, are we gonna see him in his size down version? Or are we gonna see him with, like, you know, tick to the max? Yeah, that's the question. Like, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, if he's sized down, yo, for Fast and Furious, I don't know if he's gonna look that good, though, you know? Yeah, since we know it's gonna be the last movie, maybe we're gonna see him bulked up in that. Maybe he already shot his scenes instead of shooting up his ass, allegedly, pause. But yeah, I mean, only time will tell us for sure. But
a video analyzing The Rock's transformation, attributing it to him hopping off gear, and Dwayne actually responded.
The Rock has officially come off steroids. Now, love him or hate him, this guy is on the top of the charts when it comes to fake naturals. He's right up there with Mike O'Hearn. However, the show looks like it's finally coming to an end. He recently found out that he had plaque buildup in his circumflex artery from his decades of gear use. Now, the reason why this plaque buildup can be so fucking dangerous is because it can lead to heart attacks, strokes, or aneurysms, which is probably why he decided to hop off. Now, steroids in general, especially when taken in high doses, can have an extremely negative effect on your cholesterol, blood thickness, and your blood pressure, which can accelerate plaque buildup.
The Rock commented on the video saying, this is 100% not true.
As the kids would say, yeah, this is what I'm saying. If The Rock is watching, bro, nothing but love, man. We're joking around, but also not joking around. Let's be objective here. Yeah, bro, you've been shooting up for way too long, bro. You gotta, like, come out, man. But it's good. It's good for you, man. It's good for health. We definitely want to see you longer. We definitely want to see you in bigger and better movies in the future as well. You know, it's all love, man. You know what I'm saying? For sure, like, a lot of the gym rats be hating right now. There's a reason, obviously. And there's no denying it. He definitely puts in the work, bro. He definitely is a hard worker, you can tell, but he's also hard at ticking as well, and that's a missing component, man. That's a missing ingredient that we don't hear. It's not just rice and chicken, 20,000 eggs, or how many eggs he eats, this, that, the other. It's also a whole lot of ticking as well, so that is keeping him erect. Pause. But there's no Johnson on Earth, guys, that can stay that hard for that long. So yeah, bro, like, there's no denying there's a lot of hard work, but there's also a lot of hard work put in behind ticking as well. How many times a day? I don't even know, man, but good for him. Good for him.
Him to reply to a random person's post like this is extremely out of character.
And you know, crazy, there's no chance this is true, right? But he says this is 100% not true. So either this guy got up to him, or, I mean, yeah, man, my brain is refusing. What I want to really say here is that perhaps he never took roids, but Nah, man. There is just zero chance. Okay, I would say like there is maybe 1% chance that he never took steroids or anything like that. But it's just my brain is not able to compute. Like I'm shutting down right now. It's just like, yeah, he took it. Allegedly, he took it.
Character. So it may be that what the guy said hit a random person's post like this is extremely out of character. So it may be that what the guy said hit a nerve. According to The Rock, the reason for his weight loss has nothing to do with his health or steroids. He says that downsizing is for his next project, Lizard Music. In the film, he'll play an eccentric older man known as the Chicken Man, a role that requires a leaner, more fragile look than the comic book physique he's known for. And here's where the move makes sense. After pushing his body to the extreme for Mark Kerr, slimming down now kills two birds with one stone. It proves he can take on a very different kind of role.
Yo, imagine he did it because of the actual health issues, and also the movie is just like a cover, right? But because there's this much like these many gym rats going crazy, right? Maybe he's gonna be like, okay, you know what? Let me just start taking the ticks after this movie. Let me shoot up my ass. And let me prove the haters wrong, and I'm just gonna get bulky again, right? I hope he doesn't do that, honestly, though. Not really needed. He is in a good shape. Yeah, he looks a little odd right now because we have seen him super bulked, like Hulk size. So obviously he's gonna look a little odd for a little bit, but then, you know, he's gonna be normal after that. Everybody's gonna be looking at this, and it's a very respectable shape. Like this shape that he's currently in. Very respectable. Very respectable. Don't need to be shooting up all day, becoming Hulk again, bro. Like, don't need that. I'm just worried that he's gonna try to prove haters wrong and then start shooting up again and and become bulky. I hope he don't do that, man. Come on, man. Like, for the love of God, don't do that, man. For the love of yourself, don't do that, man. For the love of your fans, don't do that, bro. Just don't do it, man. No,
building credibility as an actor, and it also gives him cover to drop the muscle and protect his long-term health. At 53, after decades of strain, carrying that kind of bulk just isn't sustainable. But it seems that online, many people have seen right through his explanation. The Rock, after his doctor told him he had to stop the gear or he was going to have a heart attack. A different commenter pointed to Hulk Hogan, another wrestling superstar who built his career on size and recently died at 71 from a heart attack. It's the kind of headline that lingers in the back of your mind, especially if you're in the same.
I don't know much about Hulk Hogan, but was he also juicing? Did he ever officially come on and talk about it?
World, built the same way, and pushing into your 50s. It makes the timing of The Rock's dramatic weight loss look less like coincidence and more like self-preservation. But here's the reality. Going from years of heavy cycles to suddenly cutting everything cold turkey doesn't just shrink you, it wrecks you. Which is why the smarter guess is that he hasn't stopped completely. He simply scaled down. Lower doses, a more sustainable regimen. Enough to still look great without pushing his body to the breaking point.
I believe that The Rock has now lowered his doses. I don't think he's 100% natural. When you go from abusing steroids for perhaps 30 straight years, your body is going to shut down. Your HPT axis is going to be lowered. You're not going to have testosterone produced. Your LH, FSH hormones are going to be in the...
You know, speaking of testosterone, yo, I don't know about this one, but I definitely want, like, if any of you got, like, insights on it, put it in the comments. So, last week, I was with my homies. Okay, we were just enjoying life, playing and meeting up after like 3 months. Crazy, right? And yeah, we were talking about fitness, all that, gym, this, that, the other. And my homie was like, yeah, when he turns 50, he's gonna start taking TRT. Yeah. And what he said was absolutely funny. And that one makes me wanna like research up into it as well. He was like, the reason he wanna take TRT is because, of course, naturally you're gonna lose testosterone at that age. And he was born a man, so therefore he wanna stay a man, and he's gonna take it. He wanna take a shot once a week, bruh, because he was born a man and he wanna stay a man. And he said that like there are no like nothing bad with it. I'm not sure about it. I took that as a face value. I'm gonna definitely do my research and all that. So far I'm pushing 30, so there's no need for me. But yeah, if any of you took TRT or you know about it, put it in the comments. Is it true that there's no side effects? There's gotta be some side effects, right? Just thinking out loud. But he said no side effects. You know, you take it, you stay a man. And if any of you take it, is it actually like good? Not gonna shame anybody. If you take it, you take it. I mean, you're being honest about it, right? So yeah,
toilet. And so if he actually just cut out testosterone cold turkey, he would have brain fog, he would feel horrible, he wouldn't be able to use the downstairs effectively. It wouldn't be very good.
While The Rock's slimmer size may be opening new doors in Hollywood, it may have closed one too, because trimming down doesn't just change how directors see him, it changes how the WWE sees him as well. Earlier in 2024, Dwayne stepped back into WWE storylines, even headlining WrestleMania alongside Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Fans speculated a full in-ring return was on the horizon.
Yeah, he's gonna lose some, but also gain some. So, yeah, in life, that's how it is. Pros and cons. So...
But now, looking at him in Venice, the chances feel slim. Without the bulk, The Rock loses a spectacle that made him larger than life in the ring. A cameo or promo, maybe, but the idea of him carrying another WrestleMania main event the way he once did, that's looking more unlikely than ever. One fan summed it up perfectly, saying, "It's hard to be the final boss when he's half his size. He isn't the hulking figure that Cody has to overcome. Unless he beefs back up, Rock vs Rhodes or Rock vs Reigns doesn't appear to be the matchup it would have been 2 years ago. From everything we hear about The Rock's ego, I doubt he'd want to show up smaller than the guy he'd be facing. Dwayne's not the..."
I don't think he's gonna return back then. Perhaps, you know?
Only wrestler turned actor who's had a massive downsize recently. In 2024, fans noticed the same thing with Dave Bautista. Pictures surfaced of him looking far slimmer than before, a clear step away from the heavy, muscle-bound frame that defined his peak years. Bautista is a few years older than The Rock, and his decision to downsize came with the same unspoken message. At this age, carrying that kind of bulk just isn't sustainable. The risk—
And was Bautista like up front with him ticking and all that? I believe so, right? This is why he never really got that much hate. Everybody knew, and he also never denied it, I guess. I'm assuming he actually came clean about taking all that. So yeah, that's why no hate. Or some would definitely hate it, but not like the way The Rock is getting the hate. And yeah, basically saying that you're squeaky clean when nobody really is squeaky clean. Yeah, right. Like he didn't like I cannot say that word on YouTube, but he didn't like deleted somebody. He just took like tick, and everybody's hating on him because he's not admitting to it, and he's just like rice and chicken and rice, right? So yeah, there's a difference clearly.
Are too high and the health costs are too great. Batista admitted as much himself after bulking up to over
Okay, I guess he did then. Yeah, no, I was anticipating that. I was assuming that. I never knew he admitted, but just judging based off of the hate that The Rock is getting versus Batista not getting, yeah, just makes sense that he came clean about it.
300 pounds for Knock at the Cabin. Batista admitted as much himself. After bulking up to over 300 pounds for Knock at the Cabin, he said the size was miserable to carry. He slimmed down through diet changes, intermittent fasting, and jiu-jitsu, explaining that the lighter frame made him feel healthier, more mobile, and more comfortable in his own body.
And then I noticed like the more I trimmed down, the better I felt. And I also noticed the more I trimmed down, the better I looked on camera. The better I look next to other actors.
This was an added bonus for Batista, but it's clear his primary motivation was his health and longevity. It's no coincidence.
Respectable, man. I love Batista in WWE as well. Again, I'm not sure if Batista ever came clean about him taking like the roids or not. Allegedly, okay? Did you see this video though? Yeah, man, the situation with Emma Watson is crazy. Check out this video on the screen and I'll see you right there.